everyone, Nisabel here, and thank you so much for joining me. So this is an Epiphone SG special that has clearly had a bit of work done to it. The stock pickups have been replaced, the headstock has the starts of a refinish, and the stock pickguard has been swapped out with a white one. But the really special thing about this guitar is that it belongs to fellow content creator, streamer, and dear friend of mine, Xrakeen. Xrakeen makes some of the most engaging and informative RuneScape videos that I always have a ton of fun watching, even though I haven't played RuneScape since like 2004? So if you're into RuneScape and you haven't seen any of his stuff, then I highly recommend you go check out his channel right here, right now. But before Xrakeen was the absolute titan of gaming content that he is today, I met him as Jacob, the guy who happened to be in every single one of my classes for an entire year, and who just so happened to be into all the same music and gear that I am. So after we got to know each other a bit, we started playing music together pretty much every single chance we could, right up until 2020. Which brings us to today. Jacob texted me that he had an old Epiphone SG special that he had started to mod, but kind of stopped halfway through. And never one to pass up a project for a friend, I offered to finish it up for him. But before we can dive into this guitar and start tearing into it, I wanted to find out exactly what Jacob wants out of it.
Wasn't tall enough.
Yeah, I was framing for me.
Oh, my head looks a lot better.
All right, so Jacob, what's the story with this guitar?
This guitar, it was like my second ever guitar. I always liked the red SGs because I think it was like just the favorite guitar I saw in like Guitar Hero 3. And I was just like, this is the one I want. And I saw a really affordable one like online and I'm like, Mom, can you buy this for me for either Christmas or my birthday? I can't remember.
So not even like your favorite guitarist was using one. It was Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero is how a whole generation of kids got into playing guitar, myself included.
I have never felt so old in my life. But anyway, you got this guitar for birthday, Christmas, one or the other.
One of those.
How is it like this now?
I don't know, we were both in like engineering school, like learning about like soldering and like wiring and like just tinkering with electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
This was kind of like the, oh, let's see if I can do stuff to a guitar. The number one thing, which is the one funny enough that I didn't end up doing, was the pickups. Because I had this other guitar that I swapped the pickups out on, and obviously I got to keep the old ones because that would be a ripoff if I didn't. And I was like, I'm gonna try and put these in there. And that just kind of led to like a couple other things like replacing the pick guard. I sanded down the headstock to take the Epiphone off and just kind of painted it over. And then of course, we got the pièce de résistance.
Her name is Rory.
Well, that's this guitar's name then.
Do you remember the story with the sticker?
I mean, you had one, and I was like, do you have another one? And you said, yeah. And you gave me this one, and I don't even watch anime.
When we first met, you were so anti-anime.
I mean, I still am. I'm just less of a dick about it.
You did all that. You replaced the pickups, you sanded down the headstock.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like I realized that modding isn't exactly my thing.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for out of this guitar? Because you have your telly. Yeah. You've got a Schecter. You've got a Strat still?
Just sold it.
You sold the Strat?
Yeah, so I have it's an American Fender Telecaster. It is a very clean, bright tone. And then I have the Schecter, which has EMG pickups on it. So I'm looking for something, I guess, in the middle. I find it kind of hard to strike a balance between like a guitar where you can play it like softer and make it kind of feel almost like an acoustic guitar. Not sound like an acoustic guitar, but kind of have that like really clean vibe to it.
Totally.
But then when you like want to just like put on like distortion or overdrive or something, it can go hard. I don't know.
So then what do you think about doing coil splits in here? So,
you know I don't know what that is.
Okay, so what it does is we could put in a switch so that it turns either of the pickups or both of them into single coil pickups. So you could get like those kind of thinner, almost strattier sounds, and then you can like slam the switch down and get back into your bucker.
I mean, if it's possible, then I'm down for it.
Do you want to split both or just the bridge?
I don't know the difference.
Okay. But if that's too complicated, we could just do like one and done.
It was too complicated.
So split both with one switch.
Sure, if that works out, yeah.
So we'll do the headstock, clean it, new pickups, coil splits, and then I think you should have like a guitar unlike any other one you have.
That'll be an interesting one for sure, but it should definitely fill a little niche that's like in between the Telecaster and the Schecter.
I'm excited to hear what you do with it.
Hopefully more than nothing.
So the plan for today is we're gonna finish up that headstock refin, wire up a dual coil split, replace the pickups with something that's more in line with the sound that Jacob wants, and clean and set up this guitar to get it back into playing shape. Now, for those new pickups, I was looking for a set that would give Jacob the range and versatility that he's looking for. So when Seymour Duncan offered to send me a pickup set for this project, I went ahead with the Alex Skolnick signature set. The bridge pickup in this set is wound with a modern, hotter, and mid-range forward sound, while the neck pickup has a more vintage sound and a lower output. So if you like what you're hearing in this video, check out the link in the description below to pick up a set of your own. It's a great way to get some quality pickups, and it helps out the channel as well. But with that, let's get started. Shall we spread? So you're still playing guitar much these days?
Not as much as I'd like to, honestly. I don't know, my time's been pretty filled between just like spending 12 hours a day playing video games. I don't know where I'll fit it in my schedule. It also comes on a more serious note, just more from kind of like not having the motivation to do it as much. It was honestly kind of weird because when I moved to Seattle, I moved there to pursue music. I moved there to learn like audio engineering and to like make connections, form a band, play shows. And it's funny because like as soon as I moved there, I started being occupied with other stuff and it just stopped becoming a routine in my life.
As I mentioned earlier, Jacob has made a career for himself on both YouTube and Twitch, which typically has him filming, editing, or streaming for most of the day, every single day. Now that coupled with a relationship, a dog, and just life in general, it begs the question of where does music and playing guitar even fit in? And the reality of the situation is, it doesn't. Now, I bring this up because you may be wondering, why am I putting all of this work into a guitar that probably won't get played much once it leaves my hands? And to put it simply, I want to leave the door open. Right now, Jacob has so many other things that are much more important in his life than music. And I know that a lot of the time, there's a ton of guilt and shame that goes along with stepping away from something you used to be so passionate about, to the point that I've seen a lot of musicians close the door on playing music entirely.
I met up with a friend who I have known for like a decade now. And when I told her I haven't been playing much music, she's like, I just can't imagine you not playing music. And I'm like, well, this is me now. So it was weird.
It's like your whole thing.
It was my whole thing. And now I'm the guy that plays video games all day.
Now, I'm not rebuilding this guitar with any expectation that Jacob is going to jump right back into music or that he and I are going to start playing every week like we used to. But more, I want to make sure that if he wants to start playing again, whether it be tomorrow or even 10 years from now, that he has everything he needs within arm's reach. I guess what I'm trying to say with this build, both to Jacob and to any of you who need to hear it, is that it's okay to stop playing music. It's okay if life has other plans. It's okay to find new things that you're more passionate about. But it's also never too late to start playing again. Let's get this guitar all finished up. few days to fine-tune her setup, I think that Rory here is back in action. Now, SGs aren't typically my personal weapon of choice, but I have to admit, I've been having a ton of fun with this one in particular. I can't wait to get her back into Jacob's hands to see what the two of them will do in the future.
Oh, I've been picking up the guitar more recently ever since I started watching your videos, so it helps.
If you haven't already, make sure to check out Jacob's channel and drop in on a stream or two over on Twitch. Links to both in the description below. But with that, I think that's everything for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Happy playing! I just can't believe how much taller your torso is than me.
Would help if I stood up straight. Oh my god, I don't even look proportional. Like what? I look like someone tried to draw a person from memory. I just like, does my head look too small to you? Like I feel like my head is. Look at that. My head looks way too small for my body.
Do you remember that the starts of like every band practice used to be me just cleaning fingerboards, like cleaning the finger cheese off of both of your guys' guitars?
Mainly Connor's.
I will say, not as bad as Connor's neck.
Yeah, I traded it to this person I knew for a mandolin, and I don't have a mandolin sitting in my closet that I don't touch.
We can do that for a separate video. I play mandolin.
Touch mandolins?
The Nisabel and the extra keen touch mandolins.
Hey, yo.
Was there a shim in here? That's the worst shim I've ever seen in my life. Definitely not as coherent. Like, and when I speak normally... You're
sweating?
I'm sweating so much. Can you track that down for me?
Yeah.
You've been playing the trumpet in an apartment? You're a monster.